Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I need a change? Sometimes, it's not just about how we look, it's about how we feel inside. A haircut can feel like a tiny fresh start, a moment of transformation. Welcome to Grow English, where we explore real-life stories in calm, emotional English. Today, I'll take you with me on a simple yet meaningful journey, a visit to the barbershop. You'll hear the sounds, imagine the atmosphere, and feel the little mix of excitement and nervousness that comes with change. So, sit comfortably, breathe slowly, and let yourself enjoy this quiet, reflective story. Episode 1: The Anticipation Before the Haircut. The morning sunlight crept gently through the curtains, touching the floor with golden light. It was Saturday, the day I finally decided to get a haircut. My hair had grown long, heavy, and unruly, and every glance in the mirror reminded me that a change was overdue. I ran my fingers through it slowly, feeling every strand. It was strange how something so simple could carry so many emotions. A haircut was just hair, yet today it felt symbolic, a way to refresh, renew, and feel new again. I got dressed carefully, choosing a soft blue shirt that made me feel calm and confident. I glanced at the clock. It was still early, the streets quiet and peaceful. Taking a deep breath, I whispered to myself, "This is my moment. I am ready." The air outside was cool, scented with fresh dew and the faint aroma of morning coffee. I started walking toward the barber shop, my steps steady but my heart fluttering slightly. Each step seemed filled with anticipation, a mix of excitement and tiny nervousness. I noticed the familiar sounds of the neighborhood, birds chirping, a distant car, someone laughing somewhere nearby. Even these small noises seemed louder today, part of this small but meaningful adventure. The barbershop came into view, its glass windows reflecting the soft morning sunlight. Inside, the smell of shampoo and clean hair greeted me. A gentle buzz of clippers and scissors filled the air. The barber smiled warmly, welcoming me as if this visit was more than routine. I sat down, feeling the chair adjust to my weight. My reflection in the mirror looked a little nervous, but mostly excited. I felt a strange comfort in the routine of it, the comb, the scissors, the gentle touch of someone skilled at their craft. I whispered to myself quietly, I am calm. I am ready. I am excited. The sound of the scissors snipping through my hair was oddly soothing. Each cut seemed to release a tiny bit of tension, leaving me lighter, freer. We talked softly while he worked, about the weather, the small details of daily life, the little joys and frustrations that make up each day. The conversation was casual but comforting, a gentle distraction from the nervous anticipation I felt. I noticed how peaceful it was just to sit there, letting someone else guide this small transformation. As the haircut continued, I started noticing the changes in myself. My hair felt lighter, of course, but also my mood shifted subtly. It's funny how external changes can influence internal feelings. I watched in the mirror as my old hair fell away. I imagined leaving behind old worries, small fears, and doubts along with it. Every snip felt like a small step toward a renewed sense of self. By the time the haircut was done, I felt fresh, clean, and strangely proud. Looking at my reflection, I noticed not only a new hairstyle but a sense of confidence I hadn't expected. It was a small change, but one that made a difference in the rhythm of my day. I thanked the barber and walked out, feeling lighter in both body and mind. The streets seemed brighter, the air fresher, and even my steps felt different, more confident, more deliberate. I realized that sometimes, little changes can have big emotional effects. The day had just begun, but already, it felt special. This simple haircut reminded me that taking care of yourself matters. Even small rituals, like a haircut, can transform your mood, your mindset, and your energy. And so, with a lighter head and a fuller heart, I continued my Saturday, ready to face the day with calmness and quiet joy. Episode 2: Feeling Fresh After the Haircut. The morning sunlight reflected softly on my freshly cut hair. I ran my fingers through it, noticing the smoothness and lightness. It felt almost strange, yet delightful, a simple change that made me feel renewed. Walking outside, the breeze touched my scalp, and I smiled at the sensation. Every movement felt lighter, freer, almost as if the world had shifted slightly around me. I breathed deeply, enjoying the cool air and the small joy in this everyday moment. I passed by the cafe where I usually stop for coffee. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the morning air, warming my senses. I smiled at the barista, who greeted me warmly, noticing the change in my appearance. Sitting by the window, sipping my coffee, I felt a quiet satisfaction. It wasn't about vanity, it was about self-care, about honoring small rituals that bring comfort. I thought about how little things, like a haircut, can have big effects on mood and confidence. People walked by outside, some rushing, some leisurely, each absorbed in their own worlds. I felt grateful for this calm morning, for the chance to pause and notice the little details. The sunlight danced on the table, and I traced the patterns of light with my eyes. I recalled the barber's hands moving gently through my hair, skillful and attentive. It was amazing how someone else's care could influence your own sense of well-being. I felt connected not only to the barber but to the simple joys of daily life. After finishing my coffee, I walked to the park nearby. The grass was wet with morning dew, and the smell of flowers filled the air. Children played in the distance, their laughter echoing softly, and I smiled at their energy. I sat on a bench and closed my eyes, letting the sounds and smells envelop me. The light breeze brushed my face, and the new haircut felt even better in this fresh environment. I thought about how these small moments can turn ordinary days into memorable experiences. I opened my eyes and watched the clouds slowly drifting across the sky. Some were fluffy and white, others tinged with gray, moving gracefully above the city. It reminded me that life is a collection of small changes, small shifts, and little joys. I walked slowly along the park path, noticing flowers, leaves, and the subtle movement of trees. Every detail seemed more vivid than before, as if my senses were sharper after this small renewal. I smiled to myself, thinking how often we forget to appreciate simple transformations. I ran into a friend who complimented my new haircut. We laughed together, sharing small talk and funny stories from the week. The interaction felt warm and effortless, adding another layer of happiness to my day. Continuing my walk, I realized how much a simple haircut could boost confidence. Not in a boastful way, but in a quiet, gentle way that comes from feeling cared for. The sensation of self-respect and freshness was subtle, yet powerful. I found a quiet corner in the park, sitting down to write a few thoughts in my notebook. I wrote about the morning, the haircut, the coffee, the park, and the gentle energy of the day. Putting feelings into words made them even more vivid, capturing the calmness in my mind. Birds flew overhead, their wings slicing through the clear morning sky. A soft hum of the city blended with natural sounds, creating a peaceful melody. I realized how small rituals, a haircut, a coffee, a walk, could create harmony in life. People passed by, some nodding politely, some immersed in conversation. I felt part of the world, yet comfortably in my own space, enjoying my private moment. The new haircut was more than just hair, it was a gentle reminder to care for oneself. I watched the sunlight shift as the morning moved toward noon. Shadows grew longer, but the warmth remained, wrapping the park in comfort. I thought about the tiny happiness in small acts of self-care, often overlooked but deeply meaningful. Standing up to leave, I ran my fingers once more through my hair. It felt clean, light, and alive, a tangible symbol of renewal. I smiled at my reflection in a nearby window, noticing the subtle glow of contentment. Walking back home, every step felt confident, calm, and deliberate. The world around me seemed friendlier, softer, and more inviting than before. The haircut, though simple, had shifted not only my appearance but my energy. I reflected on the experience, grateful for the small moments that make life brighter. Even ordinary routines can carry extraordinary feelings if we notice them fully. The gentle change reminded me to appreciate small victories and simple pleasures. Arriving home, I felt peaceful, light, and ready to embrace the day. I knew that this small act of self-care would linger, influencing my mood, thoughts, and confidence. It was a reminder that looking after oneself is never trivial, it is an investment in happiness. Sitting down to relax, I took a deep breath and whispered softly, "I am renewed. I am calm. I am ready for anything." The haircut had ended, but the sense of freshness, calm, and self-appreciation remained. And as the day unfolded, I carried that quiet joy with me, step by step, moment by moment. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this calm and refreshing journey as much as I did. Remember, every small step in English learning counts, and even simple moments like a haircut can inspire confidence in your life. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep noticing the little joys around you. They make learning English more meaningful. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and support Grow English. Your support helps us create more lessons and bring more useful content to your learning journey. Every view, every like, every comment matters and encourages us to keep going. Believe in yourself, stay patient, and know that progress comes step by step. Even if it feels slow, every effort adds up to big results over time. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep shining in English every day. Grow English is here to guide you, inspire you, and celebrate your success with you. Together, we can make learning English a joyful and meaningful adventure. Thank you for being part of this journey. See you in the next episode.